Hi guys, how you doing? I just recorded 10 minutes of this video and my flip wasn't on. I hope I find you well on this Wednesday. It's a quiet day. The schools are off for their Easter break, so that hurts our business. Lots of parents doing things with their kids rather than out running errands and stuff through the day, so it hurts business a little. But that's okay, these things happen. So what to vlog about? I've got loads of topics in my mind for videos. I am potentially going to open up my videos to YouTube as well now, I think, because I've done some videos recently that I actually thought were quite interesting, and one of them was about and one in particular that I thought might interest people, but people don't really seem interested, was the human papillomavirus here in Scotland. We have been immunising against that virus since 2008, and there is some very interesting results. If you're interested in that, there is a video from last week where I spoke about it. But yeah, anyway, that aside, yeah, this week I am going to be doing something that I have never done before. I have an opinion on most things. Lots of those opinions are quite possibly misguided, but they are always well intentioned. And if I am flat out wrong about something, I am always keen to find out where I am wrong and why I am wrong. Politically, in particular, opinions I have of a political nature aren't very common in this area, but my take on politics seems to be slightly different from lots of people. I think too many people, when it comes to political opinions, want to try and work in absolutes, and when there is so many moving parts within the kind of political process, that's just not something that can happen. You know, things like the independence referendum here in Scotland, you wouldn't have very, very educated people arguing both, almost equal amounts of people on both sides arguing completely opposite points. Tells you all you need to know about what is allegedly facts. Facts are only, when it comes to politics, quite often they're just strong opinions, and I think you just have to look at the bigger picture and look at what, I mean, I've said this before, when it comes to politics, I look at a handful of issues that really are important to me. I look at all the parties that are running in that election, whether it's locally, whether it's nationally, whether it's in Scotland, and whatever party closest hits all the marks for me, then I'll vote for them. I don't have any allegiance one way or the other. But when it comes to things like the SNP, for example, the Scottish Nationalist Party, their main agenda, their modus operandi, as I said before, is to break up the United Kingdom, and I fundamentally don't agree with that. So I find it really hard to square that circle and vote for them, because that is their primary goal. But anyway, that aside, I only brought that up because something is happening this week, and I said to you at the beginning of the video, I'm doing something I have never done before. I have never taken to the streets. I have never in my life, I have never in my life missed a vote, not even once. Regardless of the election, whether it be a local election, a national election, a European election, I always place my vote, always. In fact, there was one year I was going to be on holiday and I made sure I got my postal vote in so as I wouldn't miss it. I've never, since I turned 18, I have never missed a vote. So I'm politically active in that way, and I feel very strongly that people should vote. However, I have never taken to the streets and protest about anything. ever. But this Saturday, the Scottish Defence League, the Scottish arm of the EDL, which is the English Defence League, are having a protest march through my hometown because there are refugees being brought to this area. Well, they have been brought to this area, they're in their houses now. And they are protesting the fact that this has happened. They don't want any refugees into the country, and they, you know, the usual kind of garbage that these groups spout. Well, there was a group set up here in Wishaw a number of years ago, and they are called From Wishaw to Calais, and they were set up as a charity to collect food and kind of supplies. They managed to get 2 articulated lorries full, I believe, and they drove them down to Calais to some of the refugee camps, and they took clothing and food and toys for the kids and all that sort of stuff. Now, I kind of remember this group being founded and seeing it in the local press, but didn't really pay much attention. Anyway, there was, because of this SDL, Scottish Defence League, having this protest in Wishaw on Saturday, this group From Wishaw to Calais had proposed setting up a counter protest to basically show that we don't agree. Now, this is where I have a bit of a kind of, there's a bit of a, what's the word? I have a bit of a dilemma with this. Whilst I strongly disagree with these groups, I strongly agree that they should be able to protest in the streets, because that's what happens in a free country. So I would never ever advocate for these groups not being allowed to demonstrate or to show let their feelings be known. Now, I have had conversations with people on the From Wishaw to Calais Facebook group, and they were saying that we should just ignore it and just let them, because there won't be many there. There'll probably be more police there than there will be of their protesters. And their argument is that we should just ignore them and don't bring them any attention. But I think it's important in a case like this to get as many people out in the streets in a counter-protest as possible, because we have to let the people see, and it will be covered by the press, no doubt. We have to let them see that there is more people believe that this is the right thing to do than people who think that we should be incompassionate, or shouldn't be compassionate. I don't know if incompassionate is the right word. So I am going to be at the counter-protest on Saturday. Maybe that'll light a fire under me, maybe, or I don't know. It's just something, I don't know what it was in particular about this, but I thought, no, you know, just to give you an example, one of the families moved in about 100 yards in that direction there that I'm looking in. They moved into what we would call a scatter flat. That is a flat that is used for people who have been flung out of other houses. So they're not exactly living in the nicest area in town. The houses that have been moved into are houses that have been sitting empty for some time. I think, I might be getting this wrong, but I'm sure there's 12 families moving to the area, and it's quite a big area. You know, they're hardly flooding the place. And these people are demonstrating this. You know, these people are leaving a country where they have got nothing but the clothes on their back. You know, lots of them potentially have lost the majority of their families. Anyway, this family has moved in over the road there, and the local shopkeeper is putting together a hamper for them, and local residents have really rallied round to make sure that they've got a supply of kind of food and stuff like that. And apparently they just keep themselves. I don't know them. I don't know what house they've moved into, but I know the street they've moved into. And apparently they just keep themselves to themselves, not causing any trouble. But I think it's important in a case like this for everyone to see that there is more of us than of them. And what I mean by that is that although they're out protesting, and I think they should be allowed to do so as long as they do it peacefully, I have to say, going by previous, if the previous behaviour is anything to go by, then there may be some trouble. But I think it's important for people like me, law-abiding, peaceful people, to be out in the streets when these people are out and show that we don't agree with them. I don't agree with the sentiment, like I said, that they shouldn't be here, that they shouldn't be allowed to walk down the street, because I firmly believe they should. But I also believe when that happens that the strength of public opinion to the contrary must also be shown. So I'm going to be sitting tonight and tomorrow painting my sign. I have no idea what it's going to say. I have no idea. I've never been to anything like this before. But it's on Saturday morning at 12:30. Saturday afternoon at 12:30. I'm going to take my flip cam with me and record some of it. For lots of reasons. But it's just because if there is any of them, or any of our guys, I have to be honest, because I would criticise anyone on both sides if they started to misbehave. But I think it's worth recording these kind of things, because if there is anyone from their side or any side that is doing something they shouldn't, I think it's useful to have that footage to show to the police. So yeah, I'm not an activist by any stretch of the imagination, but this is something I feel quite strongly about. I feel we should be helping these people. I really do. I feel that it's times like this that, you know, borders really should mean nothing. To a degree, but you know, I think lots of countries across the world could be doing more, and I think that's a valid argument that, you know, why should certain countries in Europe do more than others? But that's a different conversation altogether from helping people who are coming to your area and genuinely need help. So yeah, there's actually a couple of my friends going to be at this rally as well, this protest as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll probably talk to you before then, but no doubt on Sunday, if I get footage at this demonstration, I'll certainly have something to show you, I think. I don't know. Anyway, best get back to work. Not that there'll be much work getting done today. I hope you're all well, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.